Hello, and welcome to the sixth video in the 7 Bridges onboarding lesson video series for CAVATICA. This video, File Management with Folders and Metadata, will show you how to manage the data you have uploaded, linked, or saved to your project. Please keep in mind a few key concepts. The first of which is that you can manage your files, such as copying, moving, or putting into different folders and subfolders, just like on your computer, regardless of whether or not they are hosted in the project itself or symbolically linked. Second, using file metadata and tags provides several key benefits for organization and downstream analysis. At the end of this video, you'll be able to filter the Files tab view in multiple ways, create folders, edit file metadata, and understand some advanced metadata options. For this demonstration, we'll customize the File tab view, filter project files based on their metadata, move data into folders and create folders, and edit metadata of the files in the new project. For this demonstration on file management, we will be using the SBG data management project from the previous video. These files, as you'll recall, were added to this project in a number of different ways, from linking through DRS to gathering public files and uploading our own that we then archived. We can manage and explore these files using metadata. You can search using metadata. For instance, if we want to gather studies with SRR, without hitting return, it already automatically filters. So it live filters for you as you type in your search query. You can also filter by extensions, or basically file type, and then selected metadata fields. Here, this is the sample ID. Each of these different samples has 2 entries here. To add more metadata to sort by, which is read from the files, you can go into this plus button and add whichever metadata is pertinent to your studies. You can also sort by tags. If you remember, we added demo to all of our files. We can also search by other tags as well, toggling them on and off, or a combination, non-exclusive. When you add a metadata filter or field, you can then actively filter. These are different file types. They are not from the imported study. They do not have a value for this metadata. You can remove these filters to edit this view with this X, and clear all filters with this button if you have any toggled. Let's say here. This will clear everything and set it back to a null state. To edit the metadata, first select the files which you would like to edit. We'll use all the SRR samples. Select these files and then click Edit Metadata. You can peruse these different metadata categories and apply any changes to all of the selected files. You can also do this one by one. We haven't changed anything, but if you were, you can hit save. This is all downstream, so this does not affect the source file location. It will not affect the hosted data's permanent metadata, only the metadata used for purposes of your analysis. To look at the metadata of a single file, you can click on it, and it will automatically pull up the metadata view. This has several custom metadata fields that are all filled out, common across the studies in this set. You can also edit the metadata here individually with this Edit Metadata button. Returning to Files, when you move data around on the platform, you are changing the symbolic link. It always goes to the same permanent data storage location. It's more obvious with things like DRS, with this bucket icon here next to the files. But when you move within and out of a folder, it is just changing the file path to the permanent location of the data. We want to change the folder. We'll first have to create a new one for the SRR study. You see here, if you are naming it something that can't be handled, it gives you clues. So we'll have to say it's an SRR _study. Create. And then we want to move all the SRR studies in there. Select them all. Move. And this selected folder is where the symbolic links will direct to. It gives us an update when we refresh. We can see that they're here in the folder. They have been removed from the main folder and are now present in this subfolder. You can select folders and copy to different projects. You can do things like delete or create a manifest. You can also move files on the platform into a new folder by creating the folder as you move it. Through this process, you can also add any tags you want. These tags are only applied in your project. They will not edit the original data. We can then inspect here. The key takeaways here are that files can be managed, they can be copied, moved, put into folders, just like on your computer. This changes the symbolic link, but not where the data is actually stored. This prevents the data from being moved around and generating costs for transferring that data. The metadata and tags provide a lot of benefits for organization and analysis. You can search by them, you can toggle them on and off, you can select by them, and then create folders with your selected data or edit their metadata in bulk or individually. There are a lot of features. Remember docs.cavatica.org for the CAVATICA Knowledge Center, which has further documentation on all of these features. The next video in our series is video 7, a tour of the public apps gallery. We'll see you there.